Ever since I caught you on that ice, you got no chill, no more.
Hello ZheBeauties and welcome back to another Hello ZheBeauties and welcome back to another episode of ZheBeauty channel, where I'm your hostess Janae. If you're new here, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below so you don't miss out when I upload new videos such as this one. Also, don't ever forget, beauty is not to be judged but to be celebrated, because living is truly a lifestyle. Now we are going to jump straight into this video, so go ahead and grab your makeup brushes, your snacks, your tools, whatever else you need, and let's jump right into this video. All right, ZheBeauty, so today we are doing a very soft glam look. I have not did a soft glam look in a minute. I like to go in with either a brown shade or a neutral color shade. I'm going in with my Meredith palette and I'm using the shade Bisu Bisu, and I'm just going to apply this all over my lid. I like to use a very base color when applying any of my eyeshadows. I just like to use a simple base color. I don't really like to go in with a lot of product when doing my eyes particularly. Usually when I'm doing my full glam, it's like when I like to add colorful eyeshadow and doing all that type of stuff. You can do that on a soft glam look, but it has to be like very minimal. I don't know who playing that, but so I'm starting to use just very soft browns and building up this brown until I get the right type of shape I want for my eyes. So I usually don't go out this far on the outer corners of my eye, just because I kind of want to frame my face a little bit more. I want to leave this part right in here empty. Don't really want to touch anything right in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I haven't really did a soft glam in a long time, but I was like, okay, maybe I want to go with something just a little bit softer as well. I've been doing a lot of outsourced work, so I haven't really been posting as much as I should because I've been super busy with different things coming up, so I have not really been on social media as much as I should. But hey, we all need a break from social media from time to time, because baby, we all know some crazy shit to be going down on social media all the time. So now that my eyes are done, I already went ahead and prepped my makeup and everything like that, my skin for the application. Now I usually go in with my Nars because as of lately I need another foundation. I have not updated my foundation and it's starting to get winter colors, so if my foundation is like 2 or 1 shade off, don't even bring acknowledgement to it. So I might not use a lot because this is a soft glam look, so I might just go in with a little bit because Nars is a full coverage. I really like seeing my face get like super oily. And I did go in with some mattifying primer as well, so hopefully it's not gonna get that matte on my face. Being organized and having like my content in order is like really like helpful. Scheduling out it really saves me time. To be honest, I be feeling like it's really not even enough hours in a day, to be honest. But baby, we gotta make them count, okay? Every little single hour that you have, you really gotta make that shit count. I have to go in with my Ulta brush, and this is the Precise foundation brush in 12. I feel like this foundation brush is exactly what it says. It's very precise. It really gets in those little crevices like underneath the eye. It's perfect for the jawline. It has really soft bristles, so it honestly doesn't really feel like I'm really doing anything. I just love the coverage. Like, the coverage is so good. You see what I mean when I say it's like a little bit off? I have to go back to the store and get another foundation. It's like I'm always changing my foundations, lucky. I don't know why, but every time I'm blending out my stuff, my motherfucking wrist and fingers be hurting. Because I be trying to make sure I'm using the same pressure all over my face and make sure that everything is nice and pressed in. But using that Power Grip Primer by e.l.f., this shit is not going nowhere. Like, it's just as good as the milk. That's the main thing that's really fun when you get to test out new products and when you just seeing how they work and cooperate with you. The concealer that I'm going with is light beige. Am I born this way? And I think I'm gonna go in with creams as well. I haven't used creams in a minute, but I feel like since it is winter time, it'll be perfect to use some creams. Now this cream is J.Cat's. If you really want a good, like, affordable cream that is like really works really well with the face, I highly suggest that you get some of this. Then I found out this new technique, a little bit of concealer, and you just stretch just a little bit. I wanted to try this because it fits my face, especially like right in here. So I feel like if I stretch this concealer right in this part of my face, it'll shape my face a little bit more. So I gotta try the Nars concealer cream, because if the Nars concealer cream is anything like the Nars bronzer cream, I'm in for a show, baby. I am in for a show. If it's anything like this right here, this is a holy girl then. Because I'm not switching up this. When I find a good, and it smells good, but when I find a good product, I'm not switching up the product. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I found my bronzer a little bit sooner than I expected. It is what it is. I'm not changing it. Cream bronzer is this one right here in particular. It's going on the face every time. I can't live without it. Now with my nose contour, I've been trying to try something a little bit different. I think I want to make my nose contour, or my contour in general, just a little bit more prominent. I usually do my contour like very subtle. I mean, make it to where you can really see the nose contour, just to elevate my look some. One thing that I don't do when blending out my nose contour is use a light concealer. I like to use a very neutral color concealer when blending out my contour on my nose, just because I don't want a lot of that product. Went in with a little bit of e.l.f. and this is the Fair Beige, and it's like kind of like the lightest pink shade. It has a pink tint to it, and just to really brighten up the inner corner of my eye. Other than that, I use the Taffy on the outer corners. Okay, so blend out my contour, I'm going in with my Morphe M449 brush, and I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. And when I'm blending out, I just like to blend out my edges, just the ridges of the contour. I'm not really going to touch too much of that contour area because I can leave it alone. I just want to blend upwards and back. Because I kind of want to keep that right in there. And then kind of blend out the bottom, so it can form my cheeks. So when I go in with my blush right in here, it already have a placement to go. You see what I'm saying? And then go ahead and blend out the edges of this. That's why I like that bronzer, because it's not heavy, it's not harsh when you blend it out. This bronzer just gives you a nice shadow. Like, that's all I need, just a nice little tinted shadow, and it still shines through, and I like that. I really do. I grabbed the Real Deal, and I'm going to use my Glam blush. I'm just going to keep my blush right in here. Right in here. That's where I keep my blush. So when I'm using a fluffy brush, it just helps. It just looks better when I blend everything out. Because look at when I blend it out with a fluffy brush. It gets the whole cheek, and it doesn't leave any screeches or anything, so I don't have to go back in and blend it out any more than I have to, because, babe, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Just right there. A Real Deal shade, because honestly, it gives like my type of flesh tone, so it works even better with my skin type. I recently just picked up these brushes from Glam, and honestly, I absolutely love these concealer brushes. This is the Manage Concealer Brush 51615. Long as numbers for a concealer brush, but I guess that's what number this brush was. So I really like this brush because it's an angled flat brush and it's flexible, and I can go in and blend out. I kind of don't want to blend right in here. I kind of just want to concealer, that blush, just go back in right in here. and just blend that out. See? So it blends out everything already. So when I go in and add my setting powder, it can go ahead and give me a nice blend. The thing that I do to get rid of my really heavy bags when I like barely begin to sleep, child, I just like to go ahead and let that concealer sit there and dry, so I don't really touch or blend out any of that area. If you haven't seen my recent uploaded short in regards to my setting powder and how I like to use my new technique to set my setting powder, I recently went in and found a new technique that I like to use. This has already been mixed with Born This Way. So this and Born This Way, Mercier and Born This Way, they work really well together. Now I still do the technique that I've always done with my setting powder, taking some on a powder puff and just wiping the rest of it off. Go in with the lightest hand possible. So I kind of want to let the powder fall on the face and then just tap it in. And then when I have it well placed, then I can go in and pat a little bit more on the powder puff. But I like to make sure everything is set in first. And this is how I like to do it until it's fully dry. And look at that. Look how smooth that is compared to this. It looks exactly the same. So that's how I do my setting powder. Very easy, very simple. Go in with a little bit at a time and then build it up. But make sure you keep a very light hand, because if you don't keep a light hand, girl, you asking for disaster and it ain't gonna be on me. Okay, so I advise you to just go in a little bit at a time. Make sure you wipe that powder puff clean. I'm talking about get it as thin as you can on that powder puff. Then go in and dab. But if you're not stretching your face down a little bit, like if you're not using this face, you ain't asking to get them under eye creases. You ain't asking to get them. So, does anybody else like? Child, I think it's just me. I think I'm the only person that just does that, to be honest. No, girl, I be hating it. Look like I've been eating chalk. I do the powder puff. I just go in and take a little bit, the rest of the product, and just make sure that I'm blending in everything. And look how smooth that is. Sometimes my brows can look a little bit too laminated. So I like to go in at the very end of my application. Preferably, I can do it right now. A little bit of my setting powder and just tap the brows. That way they can set and they can be mattified and they don't look so laminated. That way, see, now they can look a little bit more dried onto my face. Do that with my brows if they look a little bit too glossy, or if they look, you know, laminated or anything like that. And go in with my True Match, because this is my favorite blush. It's my actual blush tone. If you really want to know how to get your blush tone, make sure you check out my short as well. If y'all haven't been keeping up with the shorts, baby, I highly suggest that you go ahead and check out my short, because I already have a video made for you, all within a 30-second to 60-second video. So I don't even have to really go too much and go into depth in explaining it. But this is one of my favorite blushes to use at the moment, just because it is my natural like blush shade. And so I'm gonna go in with this angled brush. I'm telling you, this is so sheer. Look at that. Look how blendable that is. And I really like to pack it in right in here. Really like to pack it on that cheekbone. You can apply so much of it and it still gives you the same effect. Like, first, I wasn't really a blush girly, and I know I say that a lot, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you, like, I'm not really a blush type of girly, but unless it's the right type of blush. And I'm telling you, when I found this blush, I don't think I'm gonna ever resort to a different one. Now, I do have other blushes that I do like, but I'm going to pick up this one to place on top of that blush, because I just feel like it helps blend everything together. This Maybelline blush is a little bit darker of a blush. It's in the shade Wine, which I want some. I could use a little glass of wine. I really could. I really could use a little glass of wine. But I like to go in with this. Just a little bit. It's a little bit on my forehead, some flesh tone. You see how it just brings a little bit of flesh tone back into the face, especially above my like temple points, like right above my eyebrow arch. I like to add that in there, and a little bit on my chin. To go in and make sure everything is well blended, I like to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me, and yes, this is the lighter shade. This is in the shade Buff Beige. The inner corners, that's about it, and just drag it to the forest. Not too far out. I just want to have it right on this cheek space. In with my translucent air spun powder, and I'm going to sculpt with this. Okay, now when I'm doing my lips, personally, I like to keep my lips like this. I can see how I want to line my lips and everything. I tend to not wipe my lips. I'm gonna go in. So I'm gonna add the More Shine by the Milani. I'm gonna go in with my Revlon because I always have to add like a lighter color into the lips. I'm gonna go in with my pink butter gloss, and this is in the shade Cream Burlee. I'm just detailing. I like to take the rest of my product that's on my fluffy brush. I like to get my fluffy brush to take the rest of that product, and I just like to tap this in to my face. So I want to try something a little bit different with the lashes, go a little bit thicker, go a little bit more volumized. I even went a little bit, they're not really that curly. As you can see, they're not really that curly, but you know, they are what they are. I don't usually put like wear my lashes like this, but I was like, you know what, let me just do a thick lash just to get the glam to look glammy, you know. But I'm not all the way done. I like to go in with my Havana powder with my angle brush and take the rest of my Havana powder and tap this right into my face. So it should match my skin a little bit better right in here, instead of me looking so washed out or yellow. It's gonna tone down some of these yellow tones. All right, so this is the finishing look. This is my soft glam tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. This was very fun for me. I have not did a look with full lashes like this in a long time. I feel like this is very, very soft glam to me. You can always tweak the soft glam how you would like, but this is just my version of a soft glam everyday beat. I can wear this every day. And so, yeah, get into it.
Ever since I caught you on that ice, you got no chill.